Sorry, in my room. Just because it's dark right here. So, I was thinking right now, kind of prophesying, kind of just putting things together. Of my aunt, like 3 or 4 years ago, admitting that I was being set up right at my old house. That day, my uncle Jason Diltz came over and was fixing our sink. And when he was fixing our sink, I had paranoias of like using my sink for criminal activity, chopping stuff up in there, body parts and crazy shit. I don't even know. I was paranoid back then. But anyways, Irma went to the bathroom, or I was talking to Irma, and I was like, I think I'm being set up or whatever. And she admits on my live stream, it was like 3 or 4 years ago. She's like, you are being set up. And then she goes straight to the bathroom. And then I'm to see Jason fixing the sink. He comes in after her, and he's fixing the sink, right? And then what's called? And then I say it in front of Jason. I was like, even Irma said I'm being set up or whatever, something to that effect, right? Not those exact words, probably not, but something to that effect. And Jason looks at me, and then Irma's saying I was lying, but I caught her. I was like, I'm on live stream. Then she started to shut up real quick or say something, and she couldn't really lie because I was live streaming. One of my first live streams when I went 24 hours live streams. The day before that, I thought my sister tried to set me up because she went to the hospital. And because then the day before that, my mom was like, if you want to do this, you got to do it yourself. And she told Miranda that to her face. And then the next day, she went to the hospital. It was weird. I don't know. I was catching all these setups, and I was live streaming that day too, the night before, when my sister went to the hospital. So if their hospital date matches up with a frame job or a setup, the live stream will prove my innocence. But anyways, because I had severe anxiety that the day before, I didn't know why. So I was in my room just live streaming all day long, and then I went to the hospital or whatever. But anyways, that day with Jason is that day with Jason, I was speaking in tongues and telling him about spirituality and how I have dragons and all these things coming to help me. And he's like, everything's universal. That's what he told me. Everything's universal. And that's when I knew Jason was beyond spiritual. He was spiritual. He wasn't just Mormon. Then and then we caught my Aunt Irma lying in front of our face, me and Jason, and my mom was there too. So she told me I was being set up, and then I confront her, and she starts lying. So Irma's basically a liar, right? And an addict. And then before then that day, that was that day. Then prior to moving here to this new home, I was uh I was talking to my mom how I wanted to better myself, go to school and stuff, and get like therapy and stuff. And I was kind of feeling depressed that day. And I was planning on doing that, but I went through psychosis when I was here, and I didn't trust nobody. Now I feel better, and now I don't have a computer to do those things, which kind of sucks. But anyways, my mom had admitted on live stream that the setups and the frame jobs against me for crimes were real. And I sent that live stream clip to my homies, because on social media you can clip it for 5 minutes from a live stream. You can clip it. It'll clip straight from the live stream for 5 minutes. So my mom had admitted that the setups and frame jobs were real, and she admitted it because we're moving. We're getting away from all those criminals and those tweakers. You know what I mean? And then the neighbors bring the bikers over here, and then bring gang members and all these other people over here to get me stalked again, implementing organized stalking. And those people that were stalking me were the same people that were doing the falsified evidence, false allegations. They're the actual culprits that are doing the actions that they're putting upon me and my family. They've been doing this to my mom for years, trying to set up my mom. And then I grew up, and they try to set me up. So the people that are attacking me and stalking me were the people that are actually doing the crimes. My mom's been talking about this her whole life. Everybody knows that. My whole family knows my mom used to say that, to say that they were attacking her and trying to do things against her whole life. Then it implemented to me. Then they try to make it into a psychosis, utilizing my mom as a psychologist. I think my mom knows hypnotism because most psychologists know hypnotism. And my mom said that my sister was hypnotized and she didn't know what she was doing. So I think my mom's like kind of a mastermind or something like that, honestly. But anyways, regardless of that, she told me that, so my aunt Irma admitted to me that was being set up. My mom admitted that the setups were real. My aunt lied to to my face, to Jason's face, to my mom's face, in front of all of them. My mom's been caught in lies on live stream. My sister Miranda's been caught in lies on live stream. These are all things that happened. Um, I prophesied before I moved here a couple years ago that Monmouth and Independence were full of stalkers and organized criminals and tweakers, drug addicts, dealers, etc. Syndicates that were trying to attack me, frame me, set me up, right? Um, Spoke of this about many times on live streams, on videos, prophesied it on social media. So time and dated. And then I didn't expect to move over here, but I had my computer fixed at Reboot Computers and Salem, Oregon. And then my mom kept telling me to look up for houses, look into houses to move and da 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 da. And I kind of felt like my mom was involved in that organized crime, right? To keep telling me to look for houses online on the computer that I took to Reboot Computers that got hacked. That when I went into Reboot Computers, they were talking about someone's mom, and I think my mom called in and tried to get me hacked or something. But I'm not sure about that. That's theoretical. But anyways, the factuals is that I got hacked, on my computer. Um, and so I was looking up houses, and then I get this house. I move over here, uh, from the computer that I got hacked, right? So the hackers already knew where I lived because obviously they're probably watching my screen mirroring, that all that stuff, right? Trojans stealing my info, identity theft on high levels, multiple things. You know what I mean? Anything a hacker can do, obviously a computer place is gonna know how to do those scams and frauds type things. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I move over here after I already prophesied online, time and dated, and all that good stuff, that there was drug addicts, drug dealers, criminals, pedophiles, child molesters, everything, like all those crimes are coming from over here. Then I end up moving over here, and then people start stalking my house. Neighbors bring bikers over here and gang members and shit. You know what I mean? But all that good stuff. Then and I already have evidence of bikers at my old house and all that stuff. You know what I mean? I have them on live stream. I think I have Jason's brother stalking me too, on a live stream on a motorcycle, um, carrying a guitar case with a woman on the back of his motorcycle, with another motorcycle. They roll in twos, bikers. But yeah, he was visiting the guy, or I think he was visiting the guy next door to me, who was he looked kind of like a white dude. And then they were at the next door neighbor's house. But I have him on video and live stream. There was two bikes that were cruising in my old complex. But I wasn't sure if it was them, but it did look like them. He was wearing a helmet and a woman on the back of his bike and a guitar case. So I have evidence of multiple bikers coming to my old complex, right? I don't know what biker gangs, or maybe I do. MCs, whatever. Who cares? I don't give a fuck. Um, mm, Anyways, that then out the neighbors were gang related at my old house. Neighbors were gang related from different gangs, black and Mexican gangs. Um, Also, tweakers smoking drugs and doing criminal activity. They try to set me up and force my mom to set me up. And prior to me moving, she admitted to the setups. Then the black dude told mom that his name was Sean when his name was really Anthony Bailey. So that was a lie that he told my mom. And I'm pretty sure it was him. It was a dude in the gold car that lived next to me at the top apartment. His name's Anthony Bailey. He's a blood from 7 Nice Swans. Anyways, I figured that that dude was trying to set me up with the other neighbors. Then the other neighbor, Shorty, the black girl, she's trying to set me up with my mom and sister one time when I was picking up groceries out the car. And then my aunt tried to say, stop blaming innocent people. So that's when I knew my aunt, my mom, and my sister were involved in the setups for drugs and paraphernalia and contraband. And I had put that online. These are, this is, sounds like an organized syndicate of my families involved. They were being forced, but I think they were being paid off. But I think they were doing that of their own free will at the same time. So all theoretical documentation. These things had happened over the past few years, probably 5 years max, probably even before that, but I caught on to it. I caught on to it when I was healing my mind. Then I move over here. So anyone who associated it with my mom, my aunt, my sister, or anyone associated with Jason, if he lied upon me, has been involved in an organized crime, organized stalking, activities against me and my life, possibly my family. If they're not involved and they're being forced, then they're against my family. But if they're not being forced, then my family's involved in it, which these are lifetimes in prison. Hacking is a federal crime, stealing identity on a whole nother level. Um, Involved with hacking, stalking me in the stores, trying to frame me for credit card fraud, scams and fraud, which I don't believe in stealing because it's against the commandments, and credit card fraud is stealing. So they kind of look kind of ignorant to me. Um, Framing a reverend that's a prophet that doesn't do nothing bad. It looks super bad. It makes me feel like they're the Antichrist, or they have a spirit of Antichrist or the demonic. How you gonna frame a reverend that's a prophet? You know what I'm saying? Like, does nothing but good things and tries to help his family, but gets poisoned. So he looks like a lazy. He looks lazy, and then I'm getting poisoned, getting drugged. They're trying to put sickness in me, pills in me, drug me, make me go look crazy. While my mom does psychology, and you know what I mean. It looks like just my mom's like a whole mastermind. That's what it looks like to me, but you know that's theoretical. But anyways, those are the facts mixed with a little bit of theory in those things. So anybody associated with the liars in my family, amongst my frame jobs and setups against me and my home, are involved in organized stalking, organized crime. If they're associated to Irma Young, Angelina Maya, Miranda Cabrales, and their friends and associates, and possibly Jason Diltz. Anyone associated with those people have been involved in a organized stalking syndicate, organized stalking crimes, and this is a very serious allegation, which I hold this as documentation with theoretical ideologies involved in this to document theory and documentation for this investigation. I am Prophet Reverend Saint Fernando. This is my story, my prophetic life. The Bible tells us our family will turn against us until death. Now they're trying to kill me, and I came to Santa Muerte. She's death. So I fulfilled a biblical prophecy by family turning against each other. And now I walk as a prophet, prophesying basically almost daily. And I do this online. The Bible does say our family will turn against you. That's one of the most craziest Bible prophecies you can do. I prophesied that Bible prophecy to my brother Isaac Martinez 10 years ago, prior to my family turning against me. In front of his face, my brother was working for my mom, and he was cleaning the kitchen, I think, or he came over one day. I can't remember exactly. He came over one day anyways, and I had my Bible, and I was going through it in my room, tearing up, doing push-ups or something like that. And I pulled out my Bible. My brother was trying to comfort me. I opened my Bible to the first random page, and it basically said my family was going to turn against me. I was reading it halfway through, and I closed the book because I already had anxiety and fears and stuff like that, paranoia. And I prophesied in front of my brother. Then I felt like it was happening then. And I don't think it was. It probably was. It probably wasn't. And then it continued to happen after that, even stronger. So I prophesied to my brother that my family would turn against me over 10 years ago. Then they turned against me. And I've fulfilled Bible prophecy on multiple different occasions. And this is what happens to real prophets that are close to Christ, that walk close to Christ. I can't say I walk like Christ because I still do spirituality, but walk close to Christ. Everything I've been through, Christ has basically been through. And that's why people who are anointed correlate the scriptures to their life with the discernment of the Holy Spirit. This is what happens to real prophets